The hottest new trend is here, and it's got everyone talking.
What's spreading quick and makes you sick, infecting everyone? It's worldwide and many have died, but so much fun. You start to cough, then pass it off, and no one knows what to do but wash and clean and quarantine for Wuhan flu. Corona, corona, the virus infecting us all. Corona, corona, you cough and shake then fall. There is no cure, it's not secured, pandemic soon begins. But don't be scared, just stay prepared when panic settles in. It's growing fast, so wear a mask, buy plenty of extra food. But don't wait long, it's soon to be gone, and now you're screwed. Corona, corona, the virus infecting us all. Corona, corona, so let's all sing along. Corona, corona, infecting everyone. Corona, corona, the worst is yet to come. Everyone's got corona, you're gonna get it too. Come on and get corona, Wuhan flu.
The Coronavirus, brought to you by Michael Bloomberg. The Requiem of the Crazies comic.
There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as eternity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination, at the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics. I am your host, the Church of Failure, and with me, as always, my trusty co-host, Ayrton McCartney. How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, I woke up like 20 minutes ago, so far so good.
Oh, okay. I hate you for that. I'm glad I'm glad you got your nap in, but you're still the worst.
I try.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the chat. Matt Christie, Chad Middleton, Gulf City Cult of Krill, and Darb. How's everybody doing this evening? No real plan as of right now for the show. I've got some work that I'm taking care of, trying to get finished. So I'm going to be doing that in the background while we just talk about the things that everyone's pretty much talking about. And what do you think that is, Ayrton? What's the hot topic?
So professional.
Yeah, what's the hot topic going around these days?
I believe that's the Wu flu still.
Is it? I mean, is that still a thing? I thought that was a nothing burger. I thought we didn't have to worry about that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there was a whole big fat pile of death when they opened it and looked. But
oh, good. I think we're what is it? We're 33,000 deaths in America right now.
Infections, you mean?
Yeah, infections, not deaths. Sorry. But,
I think it's higher than that now, actually. Hold on, let me see.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, if you skip this shit for just a fucking hour, like you're already off base. It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're at 33,276.
I thought that was about right. But yeah. It's insane that there are still people out there who have not self-quarantined, who have insisted that they are going to ride this out. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to think, man. Like, this is kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's surreal, kind of the conversation I've been having with most of my friends and stuff. It's just like how weird it is that we're in the middle of this like worldwide pandemic crisis, but life is still kind of going as normal.
I mean, for as much
for
as
the
it
most
can, I
part.
suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe more so for me because like I'm still going to work every day like normal, stuff like that. But there's just this weird like, like just in the peripheral of like your awareness of what's going on is like
Say,
this mass pandemic. But like,
say that word one more time for me.
other than that,
What?
everything's
Just in your what?
peripheral.
Peripheral. Okay. I'm the
Peripheral?
southerner. It's peripheral.
Whatever. Just woke up.
My job
But
insists that I am essential and have to go into the office while everyone else gets to work from home. I'm beyond pissed. Yeah, I know a lot of people that feel that way. And then they're the opposite side of the spectrum. There are people that can't work from home that are just out of a job right now, and they're also pissed. This isn't good for anybody. A whole bunch of them now have
it's good for
COVID.
my business right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, motherfuckers starting stockpiling for doomsday cigarettes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it seems like Friday was our last like big rush day, because Saturday and today were stupidly slow. So we'll see what happens come tomorrow.
I'll give you my thoughts
But
on that. Actually, I think that because you're not in a lockdown state right now, are you?
correct.
Okay, so people are still going to work Monday through Friday. They're probably just not leaving their house.
For the most part.
They're probably just not leaving their house on the weekend like they usually do. That's my 2 cents on that. Like, I think people, like most sensible people at this point, have understood that you just need to stay indoors and stay away from motherfuckers if you don't have it already.
Yeah, you haven't been at least around my area. People around here are fucking idiots. Because I drive past like or through, I guess, just a massive like state park on my way to work. And at the end of the road, before you get to the main road that my shop is off of, there's a mountain bike trails and stuff, and the parking for that. But on my way in today at 2:00 was completely full. I'm like, what are you motherfuckers doing? One, it's freezing out. It was freezing out the past several days. It's been like 30 up here, which is fucking annoying. And what are you doing? We're in the county that has the most cases in the entire state right now. What are you thinking?
Oh shit! You drew that card?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
damn!
I'm on the very like far edge corner of it, but we're also still pretty close to like 2 major hospitals in the area. Or
You
3.
definitely.
I'm within like 20 minutes of 3 major hospitals.
You've 100% got the coof. I'm sorry to tell you. There's no question about it. You're 100% positive for coronavirus. Sorry to say, Ayrton.
Probably.
Rest in peace. I'll continue to fire your corpse from the afterlife.
I appreciate that.
You know,
I'll record some sound bits for you just so you can play them for nostalgia's sake.
They're all just going to be terrible jokes, aren't they?
Yeah.
I figured as much. I expect
pretty
much.
much.
A couple of fuck you churches.
Yeah, so that's kind of the, yeah. I hate you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like you never
that's
left.
kind of the that's kind of the general vibe out here. Is like nobody's like, people are panicking, but they're not, and some people are panicking too much. Some aren't like panicking enough. It's just really, really weird, and it makes me nervous because the people around here are morons.
Yeah.
And if something like does get worse and everything has to shut down, the people around here are probably going to freak out.
That I don't doubt. Um, it's natural for people to just fucking panic out of nowhere. But F for Ayrton. F is trending in the chat for you. Let's see.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I'm disappointed you're not in the stall. What? Great time for. Oh, okay, because the
You're not-
microphone. Yeah, got it.
You're not in the cripple stall again.
Coronavirus weather is great for spring breakers. A whole bunch of them now have COVID-19. I think that catches me up. In a small grocery store, there were a few items stripped to the shelf, but for the most part, there was plenty of food and not a lot of people in the store. Yeah, I've been seeing masks start to pop up down here. People wearing like surgical masks out, wearing gloves, touching their face in the gloves.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, you can't do any
Yeah,
better
I've been
than
seeing
that.
that kind of stuff too.
Like you can't do any better than that. Like God bless America, where people are so dumb that they'll put gloves on and then still continue to touch their face as they've been touching things with the gloves. Did you
My
see?
favorite one is a lady.
Good.
A lady came in. She was wearing gloves and a mask, right?
Right.
And we,
As you do.
you know, every couple people we've been sanitizing like the pens that people sign their credit card receipts with, and like the pen pad for like debit cards and stuff.
Yeah. So every third
and
person
whatnot.
is definitely not going to get
And
affected by that pen.
well, you can't do it after every single customer when you have a line of 7 people.
Bullshit.
That you need to just get them out as fast as you can.
You wait on your cigarettes. I'm not catching the coup from your germy ass. Yeah, fucking cooties.
Anyways,
Koofies.
so instead of pressing the buttons on the pin pad that had just been sanitized, I'm pretty sure like right as she was coming in, or maybe just before she came in or whatever, she picked up a pen from the other side of the counter, which definitely hadn't been sanitized because nobody had touched it, and used that to press the buttons with.
Fucking
Just
genius.
like, really, lady?
Fucking genius people, man. Did you hear about the newest celebrity case of coronavirus?
Did I? I don't know. I might have and just not cared enough to keep it in my memory.
Who do you think it is? Who would be the funniest? Not that it's funny, but who would be the funniest celebrity? A popular media person. Recently involved in
Don Lemon?
A criminal case, maybe.
O.J. Simpson?
Harvey Weinstein.
Or Harvey Weinstein.
Yep.
Okay, that was my next guess.
Yeah.
That one is kind of funny, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, confirmed positive. He's like 85,000 years old.
Right.
I don't know that he actually has it. Maybe this is just a really like ingenious way to just stay out of jail.
Or he went around licking a bunch of doorknobs to try and get it.
I mean, he is, one of those guys. But,
yeah.
Let's see what we got going on here. Weinstein, yeah.
Well, yeah, because the most recent, like, I guess not celebrity, but Rand Paul is the first like major politician or congressman or whatever to be tested positive for it.
Our good buddy Mr. Anti-Bully had a take on that. We'll see if I can pull up the tweet. Jim's good buddy Mr. Anti-Bully. Yeah, there we go. We'll pull this up. This is what Mr. Anti-Bully on Twitter had to say. Just Ron Paul, coronavirus hoax. Okay, you sound like you're talking into a Bucks fan. Fantastic. Get it? Fantastic. How about
Okay.
that pun?
Yeah.
How about that pun, bitch? Sorry. Lost my composure. I don't know if you can tell or
My
not, but I am very
connection
tired.
sucks right now.
Everybody's does. Like, I feel like there's that extra strain on the internet because apparently people just were never at home or something. But yeah, like everywhere around the country, internet
Not when
is
we
just
stream. People normally are.
Nah, man, you don't understand. Like, there are people that have night lives, stay in bars until 2 a.m. They can't do that right now.
That's true.
I mean, hell, bowling alleys are open until 2 a.m.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, Ron Paul called the coronavirus a hoax. Coronachan apparently did not fucking appreciate that shit. And she said, I'm gonna get your ass. And she got his firstborn. See, that's what she did.
Yeah, you don't mess with that girl here.
She will fuck your life up.
You up.
But no, man, it's been fucking. It's exhausting. Like constant day by like this is 9/11 all over again. As far as the media is concerned, like this is the worst, the biggest thing the media has been able to bite into since 9/11. Like, can we agree on that? Like, never in our adult life has there been something in the media this big.
Right. And something this big that was, not just a fabrication and over, by the next week.
Look, be careful. People are going to argue with you in the comments now. This is all just a fabrication. Ron Paul, obviously, this is a hoax, man. All bullshit.
No, I'm gonna go sacrifice a virgin baby goat to Coronachan to not get it.
In Minecraft, you mean?
I think that's my plan. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard. But no,
I mean, there's a farm with goats just down the road.
I disavow. I don't know, man. Like, where do you think this is gonna go? Like, where do you think this is? I mean, because in just a few short months, like, not even really the full months, even. Um, this started in China really big. China started in China really big in January. So, where do you think this is gonna like? What's the end game to this? Does it just blow over? Like, is China the case study where after about 3 months you just stop having new cases of it for some reason? Like, does this communicability just die? What happens?
I don't know, because I don't believe China for a second. I've been watching Italy's numbers more so to get a more accurate report to try and figure out
here's the problem with
what's
that.
going to happen here. Because
there are people out there that are saying Italy is fudging its numbers and increasing its death rate for maybe some potential kind of like coronavirus bailout, which makes sense to do if you're Italy, right?
I don't. Was their economy really that bad? Like a place like Greece or something? I mean, they have.
I mean, it is now.
Well, yeah, now. I mean, beforehand. Beforehand, though.
It doesn't matter about beforehand. Beforehand's fucking over. Like, maybe they're trying to.
That's fair.
Maybe they were like somebody on Twitter earlier. I don't remember exactly who it was, or I'd pull it up. But somebody speculated. It might have even been Bill Mitchell. Let me see if it was Bill Mitchell.
By the dips.
Oh, yeah, he's losing his fucking mind right now. Oh God, he is. Hold on. 1, 2, 3,
Oh no.
4, 5, 6,
What's our little
7,
prophet doing
8,
now?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 tweets in the last hour.
Jeez.
He is tweeting on an average.
You're not even that bad when you're drunk and going in on somebody.
I'm not. Not normally. Let me just do it. I gotta do a Twitter search. This is too much shit to dig through. Jesus Christ, Bill. You're worse than a teenage girl. No, that's not what
Now, if there's a picture of his dinner or something like that,
It's just stock. He's just eating his stock at this point. That's all he has. Where did Doctor anyway? Blah, blah, blah. It makes no sense. Greatest difference. In Germany.
well, why you dig for that?
Oh, he's been going off about Italy all day.
Part of what I think.
That's fantastic. Go ahead.
Well, part of why I think that their death rate could be fudged a little bit is their healthcare system can't handle this, and neither can ours. So people are dying like in their homes because they can't get like various like heart medications or something like that right now because stuff's so crazy. So that could be rolling into the numbers. That could be, you know, part of that, which in theory you could say is technically because of coronavirus. They didn't die from getting the virus, but they died because of the pandemic. So it's kind of a weird gray area, but that is something
that's his,
we need to take into account.
That's his logic verbatim.
Because there's no way our country, if we get to the same infection rate as Italy, there's no way that our healthcare system can handle that. It's gonna shut down, basically.
We're pulling up on Italy.
More healthcare workers.
We're halfway there, and we've been increasing by 1,000 a day now. I mean, it's ridiculous. New York alone's already at 15,000 cases.
Well, like the percentage rate, like per population. Once we hit that mark, healthcare providers are going to start getting hit. Hospital staff is going to start getting more thin. We're going to start running out of hospital beds, and it's going to get worse. And
I don't know who it was I was
before it gets better. And
you got to think it's gonna. All of these people, they're gonna have like their own room because they have to be contained. They can't. They can't be roomed with anybody, even if that person already has the virus, because then they can just keep passing it back and forth, and you'll never know if you've made any progress on either one. But you think about the overwhelming pressure this is going to put on the healthcare system and its correlation with the economy. I mean, you've got companies like Harbor Freight who are volunteering to ship their stock of like N95 masks and face shields and gloves and shit like that to hospitals and healthcare providers. You've got nursing homes on complete and total lockdown. People can't go visit their fucking grandmas. And yeah, I know Dick Masterson's big thing is, fuck grandma. And to a certain degree, I'm not in the same boat. Like, I do really, it's funny that it is to joke about, you get a vacation out of it, but the idea of, when would we be able to go back to work? And when would these powers be used again is a real question that people have to ask themselves when they're looking at this situation. Like,
Well, and that's where I was going, kind of with that is I've been seeing articles, especially in relation to Michigan, just because of how fast our infection rate has been climbing versus like our population density.
Yeah.
And they're like, what to look forward, or hopefully we're South Korea, not Italy. I'm like, we're not going to be South Korea, because
No.
South Korea immediately grabbed every single person's cellular data, all of their tracking, and they have an app that you can download for free in South Korea, and it will show you in whatever city, town, wherever you're at, this many people were infected, they lived here, they worked here, they went here, yada yada yada, and you can avoid those places like the plague.
Well,
and you
I've
have
heard
an
that it
entire
wasn't.
digital
You
database in
didn't
South
get.
Korea,
I've heard you
and
didn't get.
that'll never fly here.
I heard you didn't get personal information. I heard you just got an alert that there was someone there. Are you telling me that you have information saying that they?
I'm pretty sure you can see. I could be wrong on some of the details, but I'm pretty sure you can like dial in and actually like see, maybe not get the person's like name and like that kind of stuff, but you can say like, somebody that worked in this company building had it, so don't go into that building.
Right.
Or stuff like that. They kind of had like a GPS map basically that told you where you shouldn't go if you don't want to catch it.
Yeah.
More or less based off of cell phone GPS data. And there's no way that would go over well here in the US. And I'm not saying we should do that. I don't want the government to be able to do that on a whim, but that's one of the things we have to take into account when people are like trying to compare us to like other country cases. We have to take that like Dick Masterson mindset that a good majority of Americans have into the equation here, and know that we're probably going to be more like Italy than we are South Korea. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I don't disagree. It's just when you put it like that, like it's just, I don't know, it's fucked. Like there's so much that could have been done that
It is.
And
yeah, we could have locked the borders down immediately when we heard about this.
Well, let me finish though. At the same time, there's so much that could have been done that wasn't, but there's so much that if it would have been done, like the thing that I worry about the most, and this is really where I'm concerned about the whole handling of the situation. At what point do you draw the line now that you've given the government that power to just tell you to just stay home, not go to work? At what point do you say, well, they really shouldn't be able to tell us that we can't gather in large groups?
Right. And that's the,
like, how far are you willing to go? And that's
kind of,
that's a moral question, I think, more than one with a right or wrong answer, which is why I think the debates on it are some of the most compelling. But personally, I think it's on a case by case basis, and in this case, I think it's for the best that everybody just take a 2-week vacation. You know what I mean? At home.
Well, this is kind of how I view it from, and I know we don't normally talk political, so anybody in the chat that doesn't know, I'm a pretty strongly, obnoxiously consistent libertarian when it comes to anything government related. I'll just say that now. And even in that frame, if they legitimately came out and said, like, if they were just blatantly honest with us, like, listen, we know we can stop this if everybody just, completely quarantines and just shuts down for 2 weeks, we can stop this right dead in its tracks. We won't force you to do anything. Uh, whatever, all these guidelines. We're not going to force you. Just please do this, so we can stop this. I think enough of a majority would do it if they just came out and just honestly said what was going on and just asked. Don't say, like, the CDC recommends you do X, Y, and Z, and, like, all this, like, big fancy political talk. If they just came out honestly saying, like, this is a crisis, tons of people are going to die if we don't nip this in the bud, just please, let's just all agree to come together and just shut down for 2 weeks, I think people would do it. I think it's this vague, kind of wishy-washy back and forth, like, oh, you probably should stay home, but essential services, you don't have to. What counts as an essential service? I mean, tobacco stores count as essential services in Italy. um, there's so much just, like, gray, wishy-washy political bullshit speak that you don't know what to believe coming out of these assholes. And I think that's the problem. It's they either have to do it that way, or they're going to have to impose a medical martial law and force everybody to stay home, and that's going to go over even worse in certain parts of the country. So those are really our two options at this point: is to just come out and be straightforward and just ask the country to come together to do it, or medical martial law. Those are your only options right now.
Do you think they'll do that? Because I don't think the president
I don't think the president will, but
on a state by state basis.
I think a lot of governors. I think a lot of governors will do that. Who was it today? I just saw. Was it?
I think
Philly?
Ohio.
Yeah. Well, there was one governor who said that people will start to get fined if they don't start listening to the stay-at-home order, and I forget what place it was, because I know Ohio shut down, Louisiana, Philly, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, California. Is there one other place? I think that's it. But I know, yeah, I saw somebody say, like, if people don't start following this order, we're going to have to start fining them, which is the first step to that. So I don't know. There's so many variables to this.
I still don't think you've answered the actual initial question. Is what do you think the end game to this is? Like, what do you think? Where do you think this yellow brick road
what do I think the
ends?
end? Honestly, I think here in the States, just because of how many people we have, and like how spread out the population is, and the fact that we're so resistant to government, I think there's a very good possibility this could end up lasting that full, like, 18-month and waves of it. So I think that's a very, very good possibility here in this country, just because of the size and how many people we have.
Do you think it'll affect Trump's reelection? I'm seeing a lot of that chatter over in the Twitter sphere.
these next few weeks are going to be critical to the answer for that. It really depends on how he responds to this next couple weeks as more and more states start to get locked down, and the panic and uncertainty starts to grow even more. I think these next few weeks are going to make or break his presidency for this election.
I don't think it looks good, man.
So
I
hate
to say it, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
not looking good, but these next 2 weeks I think are going to be 2 to 3. Let's say 3 weeks. These next 2 to 3 weeks are the tipping point for his presidency, I would say, because it's all about as it escalates and how he reacts, and whether he comes out showing very strong, precise leadership, and says to the FDA, part of the reason we're having a shortage of testing kits is because the FDA's bullshit for getting testing kits approved. Like, listen, motherfuckers, we're in a crisis. We don't have time for your bureaucratic red tape bullshit.
Well,
this is what South Korea used to do all their testing. This is how we're making it. Fuck off. Let us ship these out.
I've seen somewhere that we're what is it? We're what was it? I had a point based on the testing thing. It'll come back to me.
But like, if Trump were to come out this week and say, like, I'm reining back the FDA, these are your guidelines for making testing kits. Any private lab, anybody who has the capacity to create and utilize these, make as many as you can, and let's get these out so we can get people tested faster. And we don't have to hoard them for once your symptoms are so bad that you're dying, because that's what they're saying now. We don't have enough testing kits that even if you're pretty sure you have it, but your symptoms aren't bad enough, don't ask for a test because they're so limited. They want them for the more severe patients, which doesn't really make sense. But
well,
anyway, go ahead.
It's not about the testing kits in particular, but it's more bureaucratic bullshit that I saw today. The stimulus package that Trump proposed got shot down before it could even get off the ground.
Yeah, I saw that.
And now there's chatter that the Democrats wanted to be more or, extended. And then there's other chatter that, it's just never going to get any legs whatsoever. We might as well just hang up the idea. It's pretty fucked, if you ask me. People are going to get evicted from this. There's almost no doubt about it. And this is the beginning of something really weird, because if we're right on the uptick of this whole thing based on our timeline, which, I mean, we're actually ahead on infections and behind on deaths of what our projections were. But this is going to get a lot worse before it gets any better, and I think that's where the moral issue comes from. But having people stay at home with no protection, not being able to pay their bills, it's just going to lead to a whole big mess of red tape. I mean, I don't think you'd be able to evict anyone because law enforcement busy handling the pandemic. Because now you have to go and arrest people for being outside of their homes without going, without being on their way to do something.
Well, here's something I would suggest Trump do. I doubt he's going to do it, and it would probably be very, very difficult to get it to pass. But if he did this in the next couple weeks, this could be another thing that could save his presidency. Come out and announce that he is suspending all taxes for every single citizen for at least the duration of this pandemic. I know they've pushed back the date to pay, but say nobody is paying any taxes between March 1st, when this really started hitting us hard, until this is over. You don't have to pay anything on any of that money, and we will refund anything that you've already paid up until then. If he were to come out and do something like that, just that would be a huge win if he could pull that off.
Oh yeah. I don't know that he could.
And that, I think, I if any president could in recent history, it would be him. He has the balls to do it. And I think that's a better solution than this overly complex stimulus package. Just completely shut off taxes to the federal government right now.
That's not going to help people pay their bills, though. That's the problem. I mean, what about people like me who?
But
what about people like me who get a tax refund because we have kids and already filed our taxes? That bag's
right.
gone. You hang that bag up.
But it'll also, if we could also get the testing expedited and stuff, and find the less severe cases, and get this nipped in the bud faster, if he eliminates that, the turnaround for people getting back on their feet will be faster, because they'll be able to keep more of their money.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a longer play. It's not like the quick solution, but I think as far as like a long-term like turnaround for the economy and for people getting back on their feet, like, yeah, 2 weeks, it is difficult. Not saying it's not, but if we can get this nipped down, so everything's just shut down for 2 weeks, and he gets rid of all income tax, that turnaround to bounce back. Like when you look at your pay stub, every week or 2 weeks or however often, whatever your pay period is, like there's so much taken out.
Oh yeah.
That extra money is, especially in a time like this, is something everybody could use, and that turnaround is going to be so much faster.
I agree, but I don't, in the sense that when are you going to get it, right? Like, what if you're already out of work? You're not making, like, it doesn't matter if you're not paying any income tax. You have no goddamn income.
Right. Well, that's why I said it's like it's a long play and like layered. Like, do the the plea to the citizens to all just come together and agree to do this for 2 weeks, expedite, tell the FDA to fuck off so we can get more testing kits out, and remove the income tax. Though I think those three things in conjunction are that's the best solution I can think of right now. Just off the top of my head. That'll help the country, and if Trump wants to get reelected, if he comes out tomorrow, says these three things, I guarantee he gets reelected in a landslide. Especially if it works. And I'm pretty positive that would work. At least for the majority. Some people aren't going to listen, and they're going to be dickheads, but that's fine.
Oh no, man! You already got people hyped up on
if
the
a
check.
few,
that's the thing. Like you got people hyped up that want a check now. That's where your up comes from.
There is that hurdle. Yeah, there is definitely that hurdle. But I think people will be upset. But after that 2-week period, and life starts to go back to normal as we slow this thing down, and they see the more money they get in their paycheck, they're gonna be like, oh well, this is better than getting that check. like I was talking to the 2 employees that I still have right now because of this, and one of them was mentioning something about the check and stuff. I was like, listen, you're going to make more money working here these next couple weeks than you're going to get from that check. And she's like, nuh-uh. It's like, it's $1,000 a month for the next 2 months or whatever is what they're talking about. I was like, okay, come here. And I was like, your schedule for this next week is 43 hours times by what you make an hour by 4 weeks. I was like, see, you're like at least $500 more a month if you're still working here. And if you were to cut the taxes out of that, that'd be an extra couple hundred on top of that. So I mean, that is definitely a hurdle that would have to be gotten over, but I still think it's the best solution.
Did you know that
It's the best one
Carhartt was
I
based
can
in
think of
Dearborn,
right
Michigan?
now. And
Sorry, go ahead.
but yeah, that's the best solution I can come up with that doesn't give the government more bureaucratic power over us and still lets us retain what freedoms we do have left. It's a tricky balance, and that's the best answer I can think of under those parameters.
I think they're going to pin us up. I think eventually every state government's going to cave. I think that's maybe 2 weeks away at the latest.
And
I think they're all going to cave.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. That's because probably what's going to happen.
Well, like if you look at Twitter right now,
I'm not saying they're going to do my. I'm not saying anybody is going to do my plan.
Oh no, I was just making.
That would be if I was in Trump's shoes, that's what I would have done beginning of March. I would have said that. Like, this is what we're gonna do. We're not impeding on anybody's freedoms.
Well, hold on.
Whatever.
Do you have a list of
the speechwriter write shit?
Do you have a list of the states that are on lockdown right now?
I don't have an official one, but I can pull one up.
Do that, because I'm going to pull up my my infected list, and we're going to compare the states that are locked down by the number of infected they have, and see if there's any correlation. I mean, I know already that there isn't, but I just kind of want to laugh at this real quick because I think it's funny.
Well, New York City
there's like 15,000, 16,000 cases.
What are
right
they?
Now. They're number 1. California number 4.
Yeah. Let's see. I just want to list.
Holy shit! You guys are already over 1,000. I didn't realize that. Michigan already has.
Yeah,
1,000 cases.
we just hit that today.
Shit, Arkansas is only at
Michigan.
100.
Yeah, as of earlier this afternoon, we're at 1,035, I think.
Yeah, 1,033 is what I've got. But yeah, we crossed over 100. Now have 165. Don't judge me.
Yeah, and I think of that 1,000, I think 700 or 800 are in the county that I'm in.
Fantastic. But yeah, so you guys aren't locked down, but Ohio is at 350 cases. California is at 1,600
Yeah, the governor of Ohio is a
cases.
crackhead.
California is locked down at 1,600 cases, and New York's not fully locked down yet. Florida's not locked down.
Just New York City, I believe.
Oh, okay. What? Like, there's 15,000 cases in your state, and you don't just call it off. Like, just hold the phones for a little while. Let's see how this plays out. How do you get 15,000 cases in the city? I think
that's why.
How do you get 15,000 cases in New York City, though, that quickly?
Because there's like 7 million. There's like 7 million people there, and they're all packed tightly together.
Still, with the spread it had in
New
Washington
York
and
City's like a petri dish for
California is too.
an
Look at
epidemic
that.
like
Well,
this.
I guess I'm willing to bet that
New York City's way worse.
I'm willing to bet that a large number of the homeless population in California probably have this shit now, and they're never gonna get confirmed.
Yeah. Well, and you also have to remember New York is a pretty like business central city, so there's a lot of international travel coming in and out of that city as well.
But if you look at the New York Times map of this shit, I can pull that up. I think it's not yellow anymore.
So let's see. We have Delaware just announced for Tuesday
What?
on quote non-essential businesses to close in Kentucky.
Okay.
Louisiana, Ohio, California, let's see, New York, Illinois, Connecticut, Oregon has a stay-at-home order now, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, that was the other one.
The Department of Justice is already trying to use this virus to indefinitely hold someone without charging them with anything. That's the scary thing. They will use this event as an excuse to roll out of their agenda they planned a long time ago. The income taxes will never be suspended. If people see how much Fed is taking from them and the taxes came back, people will riot. Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Like, I don't know. I think our government's just going to do the dumb thing and print off a shitload of money like they always do. Just drive the dollar further down into the hole.
Yeah, but see, that's also, you know, another scheme of why I brought up the tax thing is people would do that and the government would be afraid to reinstate income tax, and that's good for everybody because fuck the income tax. It's illegal. And
all right, Ron
it should
Swanson,
be gotten rid
down.
of.
Calm down, Ron.
Well, it is. I mean, it is.
I don't disagree.
It was supposed to be temporary
you're
during
Ron posting
World
right now.
War II to I tend to be like a little bit toned down version of Ron Swanson.
Oh.
I've thought about growing the stash. If we do get locked down, maybe that'll be my hobby. Just grow a
mustache. Well, you'll have to shave off your
Yeah.
beard so you can get a clean seal on the mask.
That's true. I mean, I did actually about a week and a half ago trim my beard back down to where I normally have it. But
yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it looks like the U.S. has fucking measles.
Stream.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, come on, catch up.
It looks like the fucking U.S. has goddamn measles.
Oh, come on. It's been 20 seconds. There we go. Holy shit. Jesus. I mean, looking at this, how often do they update this map?
Hourly. I mean, it's not 100% accurate, but...
Right. So basically, if you're in the U.S. and you want to avoid this at all costs, you either need to somehow get to the very northern middle section of Montana and seclude yourself, the middle of Nevada in the fucking desert.
There are 22 cases in Alaska, Ayrton.
Or Alaska.
How the fuck does this shit spread in Alaska?
Yeah, Alaska.
Who the fuck goes outside in Alaska, Ayrton? What are you doing? You stay in your goddamn igloo and you fish in a hole in your floor. What's wrong with you?
Dude, people don't realize this. Michigan is colder during the winter than Alaska is.
Shut up. You're full of shit.
I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. If you look at Anchorage, Alaska, and Detroit, Michigan, and the January 3rd, it'll be colder in Michigan 9 times out of 10.
Huh.
Yeah, it's the lakes that hit us in.
Oh yeah.
What's
I
up,
can see that.
Blackout?
Oh, what's going on? Shout out Blackout in the chat.
And Alaska's cold isn't as stinging. It just kind of, it's more obnoxious.
Yeah.
Whereas like you walk outside here and like the air hurts your face.
So
Kind of cold.
I guess we need to kind of address what's on the Cryon directly. Have you seen that YouTube has been pulling creators down for their coverage of Coronachan?
I mean, we saw it with Jim.
It was
Getting fucked
memology
with
as
again.
well. But give me 1 second. Entertain the people for just a second.
Okay. Should I Ron post some more? Yeah, I mean, it was only a matter of time before YouTube started pulling that shit. I'm surprised Twitter hasn't been pulling down more Corona-chan posting with that stuff. But I don't know, hey, if anybody's has any takes on this and wants to hop in the waiting room in the Discord, go right ahead. We'll take some callers here in a second. Yeah, we're doing okay, Blackout. We're still hanging in there. Yeah. Is it the AI, Chad? I don't know. Church probably knows more about this than I do. But yeah, it's weird times. I'm interested. What's the atmosphere like? Is Elon Musk in the moon yet? I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I mean, I still don't trust the dude, but if he can take me with him, I'll go. I'll be his manservant or whatever. I don't care. Get me off this planet. But everyone from YouTube abandoned their posts and they left the bots in charge. Oh, lovely. That's gonna work out well for all of us, isn't it? And Matt, why don't you hop in here and give us your rundown on the YouTube thing, because I don't know anything about it. Oh, Church is back.
Yeah, I apologize. What's up? Who's on with us?
I was telling Matt to hop in here with me and give us a rundown of the YouTube thing while you were gone, and then came back.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free. Everyone from YouTube abandoned their post and they left the bots in charge. So YouTube AI, is Elon Musk in the moon yet? Probably. We'll hear about the one case of coronavirus.
That's what I said.
Moon.
Yes. It'll have to be a Google. What is it? Google Universe or whatever.
Yeah, first intergalactic virus with a case on the moon.
Then there'll be a few on Mars.
But no, I'm seeing they're pulling people down for their coronavirus talk. This stream will probably get pulled down if it hasn't already.
Oh, you're a robot there, buddy.
What?
Roboting there, buddy.
Probably. Come on. Reconnect. Discord being a big pain in the ass. I've heard that Discord's been having some problems lately.
Well, the stream is up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, is the stream up?
seems to be from
by the
what
way,
I can see.
By the way, that's check off audio issues on the bingo card, ladies and gentlemen. Probably tech issues as well.
Somebody really does need to. Can we get Mint to make us a official Gospel of Comics bingo card?
I mean, I won't presume to be able to get Mint to do anything.
That's fair. I mean, those playing cards for Dick look cool as shit.
Yeah. Oh no, those things are awesome. All right, one more second.
Okay.
Okay, never
Somebody
mind.
in the chat, let us know if, like, we're still good. See, we seem to still be good.
I think we're okay. I think we're still working.
Oh, Matt says Discord has been a bit fucked all day, so it's not us. Oh, well,
Yeah.
thank God.
No, it is us.
There's a first.
Check off Discord issues on the bingo card. This time, that's right. So, yeah, during this whole thing, like, I kept up with it pretty heavy in the very beginning, and now, like I was saying earlier, it's so exhausting. Like,
There's so much.
yeah, it's just constantly just up and down bullshit. You don't know who to listen to. My wife is having to yell at my children.
Well,
They're being rambunctious.
well, and then they're just, you know, like, I think the Masterson Medicare debate on the Killstream kind of perfectly encapsulates the.
Are you just switching places with me tonight? Are you just unable to speak?
I started to say encompasses and encapsulates at the same time.
Okay.
And they kind of mix together.
I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
But yeah, I think that is really the bedrock of the two arguments right there. Is, you know, people like Masterson that are like, you know, fuck grandma, I don't care, leave me alone, and then, you know, like the Jim side, like, I don't want to fuck with people's rights, but we need to figure something out because this is way more serious than what people are taking it at the moment, and it's yeah, it's exhausting.
Well, the thing is you got to like keep up with every fucking thing. It's like restaurant bans. I've gotten an email from pretty much everyone in the known world about coronavirus. Like every service
Oh
you've
yeah,
ever
you
given
should see
your
my
email
work
to.
email.
Yeah, every service you've ever given your email to. You know, people are canceling orders at our job left and right. Events are not taking place. Restaurants are not taking customers, even though they're still taking dine-in customers. Grocery stores are still run roughshod over. Like, you know, it's like a 3-day wait on trying to find ground beef anywhere. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, how's your toilet paper supply holding?
Oh, I'm good. Actually, one of my distributors, they also supply like gas stations and, you know, party stores and stuff like that. So I actually just ordered from them like toilet paper, cases of water, you know, that kind of stuff that people are having a hard time getting.
Yeah.
That hopefully will come in on Tuesday to sell. But
well, there was a fucking a shortage of shit from distributors down here. There was a local hotel that wasn't able to get hand sanitizer. They had to shut down like the public like breakfast at a lot of the hotels. You know where you'd go to a hotel and there would be like this little
yeah, like the
shitty
continental breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have any of that. Like anything you serve has to be like prepackaged.
Yeah.
You have to have hand sanitizer
Crazy.
available to everybody. Like the hotel industry's hitting it. There's nobody going out, so nobody's at a hotel. Airbnb people are freaking the fuck out because they've lost their Airbnb money.
Right.
This is a weird time, man. And again, a lot of people are pointing out that the numbers just don't warrant this response. But I don't know if that's true or not. Like, because there have been worse diseases. A lot of people like H1N1 and SARS, where the numbers were a lot heavier, and we just kind of shrugged it off.
Well, the death rate and infection rate has surpassed SARS.
What was the one that was like a lot worse? Was it H1N1? Bird flu or whatever? Yeah.
I think it was, but we had such a fast response time to it, though, versus this. I think is what the difference was. If I remember correctly, I don't know. It's so hard. People are comparing this to so many different diseases. It's hard to keep up with that. Well, and I don't know if you saw this, but there's a new strain of N1H1 in China.
Oh yeah.
Right now too, that they just announced a few days ago, or I just saw a few days ago.
Yeah, they got swine flu over there as well. Problem I see is this event seems to be what we are made to focus on. That makes me wonder what's going on in the background that we aren't aware of. Oh, the money, find the answers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying not to get the coof. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're absolutely right. There's probably some shit going on that I don't know about, but you know, I'm trying not to get the coof. I don't.
Yeah, no,
I don't particularly
definitely
want to have the coof.
They're gonna use this to try and slip some shit in, Matt. I definitely agree with that.
But wasn't there some kind of weird like abortion clause on one of the bills they tried to pass recently? Like, didn't they try and sneak that in?
I don't know. I started reading something about one of the things that they tried to pass in the past week, and I got bored with it because it was like a HuffPo article or something, and those writers suck.
Yeah.
So I stopped reading it because I just couldn't get through it.
Oh God.
Yeah, heard people saying Bill Gates helped make the virus.
Yeah,
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Going around. I don't know. I don't particularly believe that. But
it wouldn't surprise me. Bill Gates is kind of an asshole.
That I do believe, but you know, I don't particularly believe that. You know, this is because that saying that Bill Gates helped make it would take away from the fact that it's a Chinese virus, and that's the story, right? Like that's what we're going with. So if it's not if it's the Bill Gates virus, it's not the Chinese virus.
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't say I believe it. I'm just saying if it came out that is true, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, there was speculation that he was involved with it because of the simulation that was run previously about how many people the coronavirus or a variation of it would infect over how long of a time frame. It was really interesting, but it seems to have kind of dried up in the aftermath of the actual virus sweeping the goddamn nation.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was actually ready for
what
happened.
Event 201 and tell me this wasn't pre-planned.
Oh, Event 201. That's what I was talking about.
Hit the Google real quick.
Yeah, Event 201 is what I was talking about. No, I mean, it's definitely a game plan, but it's not showing the kind of numbers they're talking about, at least not yet. Unless there's some kind of weird phase 2.
Well, that's what, everyone's talking about is, we're going to be getting these second and third waves like we saw. Was it with SARS or was it N1H1 that had like there was like 3 or 4 waves of it, and like the second or third one was like the most deadly. Thanks, Matt. But yeah, I already have the link.
I don't really remember those other viruses as much. Like, I remember they happened. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
I don't remember them
yeah. I
as
mean, I was
well.
pretty young when both of those hit. But yeah, just clearing my throat. I don't have the coof yet.
Yeah, it's the coup, ladies and gentlemen. Told you he's gonna die.
But
If you actually die, I'm gonna feel like crap.
yeah, I know there was there's one of those. Yeah, there was like I think it was 3 waves of it, and like the second one was the most deadly, and they're projecting something very similar with this could happen.
That I don't doubt. I mean, be completely honest, this shit's gonna. I mean, it's gonna be part of the history books. I know I've said that, but
Oh yeah,
I don't know. It's just I'm ready for it to either be done with or move the fuck on. Like I just want shit to go back to normal. I wanna be able to like worry about other things. I want to be able to read comic books again. I don't want to be working my ass off like the end of the world's coming. I just
yeah. I either want everything to go back to normal, or like just start the goddamn apocalypse like full force already. Like, stop giving me this cock tease.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean let's get on with it, folks. I mean, are you ready or are you ready? You wanted this. Came over from fucking China. Goddamn bat flu, and now it's taken hold in this country, and we've had our thumbs up our ass this whole time. What are we doing? You know, what are the numbers going to be like when testing becomes like more widely available? It's just it's too much, Ayrton. It's too much.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I will say I'm actually happy that I get to keep working. Because if I was just stuck at home all day every day for like 2 or 3 weeks, like besides the normal stuff I do when I'm at home, like play guitar, do whatever, I'd be looking at this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Probably driving myself more crazy.
yeah, just waiting to die. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just ready for the shit to be over with. I'm honestly just ready for it to be over with. Can we just go back to laughing at Trump and Pelosi and their shit fight back and forth? Is that a thing we can do?
And I'm bummed that this might fuck up election season, because I was so looking forward to watching Trump just completely destroy Biden during the debates. That was going to be the funniest fucking shit.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, I
Now
want to read more into that, Matt, before.
It's anybody's ball game. Check
Hold on.
show suggestions for Event 201. Yeah, I've seen the Event 201 thing.
I want to. I glanced over that link real quick. I want to look into it a little bit more before I were to actually like talk about any aspect of that.
I've looked at it.
Live.
I'm gonna talk
personally.
about it. I'm gonna talk about it because we talked about it.
I
before,
mean, I have
actually.
some like quick opinions.
We've referenced it before, but I mean, there are videos. If I had time to watch them, oh man. But it was apparently this meeting of the minds John Hopkins and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation were all involved. Um, and it was the pandemic exercise that basically simulated the release of a souped up coronavirus type infection. I think they even said that it was based on the coronavirus. And I think the final numbers were some 65 million casualties or infected or some shit because we just weren't prepared for a pandemic. Was
Yeah,
the end
I
all
mean,
be all of it?
uh,
No, I think that's the general
well, yeah, and that's
gist of it. Oh, for fuck's sake!
that's the problem. I well, there's lots of glaring holes in our society in general that this has come to light, like people not preparing for even just a basic fuck up in their everyday life, like breaking your leg and not being able to go to work for 6 weeks, shit like that. There's just so many things that this is bringing to light of gaps in our societal preparedness. And as crazy and tragic as this is going to be, if we can make it through this at least semi decently, maybe our our country will be a bit better about stuff like this. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know that we'll. I don't know that we're gonna make it through this. Honestly,
Well, that's why I
this
said
could
if.
this could be the
I
end
mean,
here.
it's like I've told people, like I've always had extra food and water and general supplies just in case. Not even of something crazy like this, just in case like my store burns down and I can't work. I have I have some supplies to get me through at least a couple weeks. It's basic stuff that you should do all the time. Like, come on, people. It's not difficult. You think we would have learned from Katrina, the hurricanes that hit Texas, whatever hurricane that was a couple of years ago, uh, all the major earthquakes we've had out in the West Coast.
No, man, because
I mean, we've had
you can always like swoop in and fix a singular state or city or some shit like that. When it comes to the entire goddamn country, what are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna fix that?
right, and that's what I'm saying. That's why people should have a basic preparedness plan for any type of thing, because you can't rely on the government to save you. If anything, those disasters have shown us that even more. I mean, look at the Katrina response.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, how did everybody not learn from that? Like, and now look what's happening. People are panic buying shit they don't need. They're not doing things right. I mean, you saw the picture I messaged you a few days ago when I went to the grocery store real quick. That giant hunk of meat that was in the picture.
Yeah,
That was nearly 3 pounds of beef for $20, and I cut that up into, I think I got 8 portions out of it,
nice.
and bagged it up, threw it in the freezer. $20. Not that hard to do, folks.
I don't know, man.
It's,
It's insane. I keep repeating that. I know this has not been the most exciting or informative. Um, I I just I can't wrap my mind around this shit, man. Like I followed it in the beginning, thinking, okay, well, people are seeing this, right? Like, people are talking about this. They're going to take this seriously. It's not going to be this bad when it gets here. And I would have been wrong on that particular assessment.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I knew people were going to react like this when you saw the media coverage and what everyone was saying on social media, like, oh, it's not any worse than the flu. The flu kills more people. Just wash your hands. Yeah, blah 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 blah. All that bullshit they were saying for months, and there was a small corner of us going like, nah, you better have supplies, motherfucker. This is gonna fuck us up. And we're called the crazy ones that are overreacting. And I mean, yeah, it's weird and it's insane, but I'd say as far as the people that were, ringing the warning bell early on, were probably the most overall calm and what's going on, because we were paying enough attention to be like, hey, this is gonna fuck some shit up, so we better make sure we have stuff. It's like, I doubt Matt's freaking out at all.
I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm freaking out. It's just I'm not comfortable with this situation.
oh no, I am highly uncomfortable with the situation right now, like with the air of tension and everything going on around here. I'm more armed more so than I typically am when I just like go out for like my normal stuff, just because I don't trust people. And if something big gets announced in the middle of the day, people start freaking out. I'm not being caught with my pants around my ankles. Let's just put it that way.
The very interesting and singular fear you have there. Worried about your pants around your ankles. Who hurt you?
I mean, well, I didn't grow up Catholic, so we can
rule out the
we can
rule out the priest.
Yeah. There was this weird gym teacher though in middle school.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't a weird gym teacher. Not even. No. We're not doing that one. But seriously, I don't know. I'm ready for it to be over. Like I said, that's pretty much my general takeaway. Is that I can't anymore. I'm tired. This whole ordeal has been a giant clusterfuck, and the fact that no one took it seriously until it got here, and now it's up to, from what I'm seeing, 36,000 in the States, something like that. Like, what are you doing, people? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't think it would have been such of a big deal if it had just popped up over here before we knew it was a pandemic somewhere else. But we had a lead time, for fuck's sake. We chose to bring people infected with the shit back to America.
right. That's why I said we should have, as soon as we heard what was going on in China, we should have locked down the borders. No one comes in. I'm sorry, we can't risk it. We have embassies in other countries. We'll take you there. We'll keep you safe there till this blows over, and make sure you're not infected. But we can't let you come back home.
You can't stay here and you can't go home, folks. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, we have embassies in pretty much every, like, major country in the world. So we could have, still protected our citizens overseas. We have military bases all over the world. They didn't have to just be stranded in some random ass country. Like, we could have taken. It would have sucked for them. I get that, but that doesn't matter. We could have stopped this in its tracks in this country if back in January we just shut it all down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I would have liked to have seen a bit of a better response to this shit than we got, and too little, too late right now, obviously. But
Yeah.
honest to God, man, like we can't just keep fucking off like we have been as a country. We need some clear, concise action.
Yeah, and that's why I said these next couple weeks are what's going to make or break Trump's election.
We won't see the aliens now with the Earth sick. Yeah, that's another downfall of it, Chad. That's the aliens I was really looking forward to. Honestly, though, I think
I did see a meme earlier.
Oh, go ahead.
That did make me chuckle. It said the dyslexic motherfucker who wrote 2012 instead of 2021 on the Mayan calendar, and it was like a Steve Carell, like his ooh, like I fucked up face.
Yeah. Oh man, means I've got one more birthday left.
Don't remind me. My birthday's next week. I'm gonna be 29. Ugh.
Oh, shut your whiny ass up, child. I'm just gonna mail you. I'm gonna adopt you a Chinese kid from Wuhan. 2 for 1. Give you the Wu flu and give you a kid to raise. Just exhaust you flat out.
I know. I'm still waiting for that. Those several Chinese mail order brides that I ordered a month and a half ago.
Oh yeah,
when it was buy one get one free.
Buy one get 2 free. That was the.
Oh yeah, that's right. They changed it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's probably.
Still haven't showed up yet. FedEx is being kind of slow.
Yeah. I think that's probably going to wrap it up for us here this evening. Like I said, it wasn't a huge show planned here this evening. I wanted to come on and talk about, the atrocity that is Coronachan. And
make sure everybody go get a baby virgin goat to sacrifice to Coronachan to stay safe. I'm certain that'll work.
It's like the ice bucket challenge of 2020. Is that what we've come down to?
That's what I'm going to call it.
The goat sacrifice challenge.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm at least 76% sure it'll work.
Huh. I just saw another Steve Carell meme. Time Traveler. What year is it? 2020. Time Traveler. Then it's Steve Carell face on Ethan Ralph's Twitter. I can bring that up for the stream before we sign off. This will be our
I've seen a few variations of that one. That have made me laugh.
So, yeah, with that,
I will have to say the memes have been pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's always a bright side.
Always a bright side. With that, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I just wanted to come on here it's been exhausting. I promise we are going to get back to reading comic books. I promise I'm almost done with this outlandish work schedule that I've had because of people canceling business. I have time to actually do part of my job. So I am finally catching up on this fucking list. I'm foregoing sleep. I'm being driven insane. I've only had one cup of whiskey today. It wasn't even a large cup. Mike Pence probably has coronavirus. Rand Paul has coronavirus. Harvey Weinstein has coronavirus. Fucking Tom Hanks has coronavirus. I don't
Hey,
know.
another good thing to come out of this, maybe people start to realize that athletes and actors and celebrities and all this shit really aren't worth that much to our society.
Tom Hanks is a national treasure. You can shut your whore mouth.
Well,
If anything happened to him, I'm taking it out on you personally. Anyway,
isn't that just your go-to anyways?
yeah. Basically, I wanted to say it on air.
Okay.
It sound tough. But
Fair
that,
enough.
I think we will sign off for the evening and see you guys next week. We'll probably be live sometime during the week. May try and find something to read. I've been meaning to try and find some WWF comics, some old wrestling comics, to make Ayrton read them. Because
We should do that.
I've been listening to a lot of professional wrestling lore to take my mind off of this just nonsense of a society and reality that we live in. So, with that,
let's make it a point to do that later this week. I like that idea.
so
I'll make time to read them.